Yeah.
So if you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen, pop my money guns if you're watching on TikTok. Hey, pop my money guns if you're watching on TikTok.
Yeah, Daddy
We've said
Freeze,
before,
I would love to give you my intake. You know, it's two things. It's two things. When a country is not growing, and we are depending on imported goods, people are frustrated and they are willing to leave that country. There will be high demand in the currency that is going to give them life or where they are going to. And where are these countries that people are jackpotting into? It's US, Canada, UK. You hardly see people going to China. The only people that goes to China are people that wants to go buy goods. And that is one of the things that is affecting a country that is not developing. Look at our educational system. People are tired of going to schools. Back in the days when we used to go to school, you hear people travel to abroad and you just believe that, oh, probably their family is rich. That's why that person is going to abroad. Because we are not exposed to another life in another country. We are contented. We believe in our government. We believe in our educational system. I'm talking as far as like 10, 15, 20, 30 years back. You understand? Even when people travel out, they're back home, investing, doing things, but it's not the case anymore. People are frustrated. People are scared. People can't provide normal end means. Things are rising. And it baffles me when you see if because dollar is rising and you want to go buy pepper. I don't live in Nigeria, but you know, when you have family back homes and you communicate with them, and they're like, Gary, that is normal for us. Gone are the days. Growing up, we used to fry Gary in my own family house. And Gary is like, is like like a goods that is surplus. Gary is a surplus thing back in the days, whereby you have full bags of Gary in your store and minimum rice or beans. You know what I'm saying? But now Gary is gold. And the mentality of Africans is, it baffles me because the dollar is high. Are we importing Gary? Aside from the government, we are each other's enemies. And people are lazy now these days. I remember growing up, we do elubo ourselves. Our parents would teach us how to produce elubo, how to produce Gary. You know what I mean? But now people are not doing that anymore because at the end of the day, people are even scared to go to the farm. They will kidnap you if God is not at your back. You can be easily kidnapped. So all these things is just like, it's like a pandemic. It's like a cause that the freeze. I don't know how we want to resolve this issue. But aside of the government, but the main reason why this dollar is skyrocketing or the exchange rate is going higher is not only the bad government, it's also that people are looking for a safety land. I know somebody that told me that 10 years ago when she wanted to relocate to US, she said, at that time, oh, imagine, she said, let me relocate, even if I will come and pack snow to raise my kids. I know that that child will not pack snow. Look at that mentality, because she believes that she's going to a land of opportunity. She knows that it's not going to be easy. She can be a cleaner, but by the grace of God, our kids will never be a cleaner because there's a system that is working. There's an education. We are not scared to send our children to school because of school fees. Even I don't like holidays in US because you have to feed your children food. It's not that I don't have that food. I'm just lazy to provide for them. Like stand up in the morning and make breakfast. But when you send them to school, school will provide breakfast, lunch. And imagine, and our leaders always come to all these countries. They send their children here. It's so heartbreaking. Sometimes when I think about what is going on in Nigeria, I always cry sometimes. I cry for people. I cry for people that are struggling to eat alone in that country. Because everybody say, as soon as they hear the news, our dollar is 1.5. Yalata is ready to, Atarodo 10 naira is ready to increase to 100 naira. Kini atani shake pẹ̀lú dollar. Kini gari ni shake pẹ̀lú dollar.
But you see, at the end of the day, petrol is dollar. She's also going to buy. So at the end of the day, it's going to come back and bite her. That is why she also has to guard herself. We've got a gentleman with us right here. Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. So what is your take, sir?
My take on this is government is greedy.
Yeah.
And government
is
greedy.
And they don't care.
Yes. And they don't care. They just want to be in control. And that's why these things are happening. We are in a technological world today where things can easily be corrected and managed.
Yeah.
Foreign exchange is one of the most easiest thing to correct with technology. But they don't want to do that because there's a lot of factors involved and there's a lot of people, benefiting from that.
Are they even exposed? All
They
these
are,
people are bold.
Trust me, they are exposed. They might not know how to use it, but they are exposed. They have the tools and the people to implement this thing. But the way I see it, they just don't want to implement it. And there are so many factors involved that if you look at it from our perspective, we that are living abroad, some of us, it might look good to us because when we want to send money back to Nigeria or, from wherever we are, we send, we spend less from wherever we are if we are from better countries, okay, with a good exchange rate. Now, if you're sending less, it profits you well because you're sending, you have enough to save and spend where you are, right? But it's not good for those at home. So now, if we're thinking at it, it's two sides to this: within the country and outside of the country. Now, factors that involve forex, the foreign exchange, control the foreign exchange. I and Bongoli, I had this conversation with Bongoli on his live. That was a couple days ago. He posted it and it was just, it was a different topic, but he asked a question. He said, what do we do right now? Right now, just in the day, right now, that is going to crash some other, that's going to crash the currency market, or, I don't want to call the names, but it's going to crash the high currency markets so that Nigeria can start having value. People were saying this and that. And that's why I would have wished if Bongoli was here as well. So people were saying a lot of things, it didn't work out. So I just thought of it like, this thing is so easy. We all make use of the internet. And what exactly is this? Because if you look at the Naira itself, the exchange rate, foreign currencies that are going higher, government is not in control and government needs to be in control.
Okay.
And
so my question back to you is, so what do you suggest that the government does right now?
Okay, now that freeze. The first thing I think is, while it's not one thing at once. They have to work. It's like a back end and a front end thing. You don't just work on the back end and ignore the front end. You have to work on the back end, work on the front end. Now, the back end is from their own perspective, where they work on policies and factors that affect the foreign exchange. That's within the economy. Now, from outside the economy, what affects it? The inflow of money is not coordinated. Government, this thing is decentralized. It is not centralized. CBN is just there. They are not remitting anything. Nothing is coming through the CBN. In fact, I can say what is coming through the CBN is not even up to 70%. You understand? So at the end of everything, if government can track all these funds that are flowing, they don't need to they don't need to touch it. You understand? They just need to know what's coming in, what's going out, and people are being charged for it. People will condemn you in the comments. I don't know, because some people are profiting from it. But let's be true to ourselves. Our people are suffering. Our people are going to suffer if we don't do something about this. This is not even suffering yet.
Okay,
I'm serious.
So
okay, sorry. So what I told him was, you need to centralize this thing so that government can see what's coming in.
All right,
look at it. It's
Wilfred has to put in a word. Wilfred, what are your thoughts?
First off, thank you, Daddy Freeze. You have a big heart.
Thank you very much.
To listen to people that would make some wrong choices and then later seek for help. So I must commend you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for also helping out, Wilfred.
No, I did not. I just know that I have to sacrifice mine for the servant that is leading. So we have to be boss. Young girl will be all right. All right. So I have you. Okay. Long before now, I used to do activism. And I discovered that the people that you are speaking up for, based off most of this information we are privy to, they were not understanding. I remember when I said when dollar hit 1,000 to 1,000 Naira to $1, it's going to be rugged. Even the lawmakers themselves will not walk on the streets. So my thought is a little bit different. So here is it. There is a playbook in the system. That playbook has been there long before I probably was born. Now, that playbook is doing exactly what it is doing. And there are people that are following that playbook. Any attempt for you to touch that playbook, it will take your life. So the government, they know what to do, but they will not do it because they will risk a lot of things. Now, they say we had independence. I hear you, but the independence was not independence. Tell me a country that will sacrifice all their first class every year to another country. China would not let their first best 5 from any university leave their country. It's from the 6th or the 7th, and Tobati Wale, you must come back. A lot of them must come back with that knowledge. So, but in Nigeria, they have a system. In other African countries, they filter all the first class down to the side. What is left for us? Now, a state like Benue is called the basket foot of the nation. The soil is so rich that if well cultivated, you will feed the whole of Africa. Change will remain. If only Benue can supply all the food that we need, your dollar will drop. I mean, your Naira will be so valuable. But your leaders have signed an agreement. When they collect money from IMF, they must not do agriculture. So when you're not producing, you're not manufacturing, injectors. Injectors are like small companies. Even my little startup that I'm doing is paying 8 people in Nigeria. Paying 8 people. Imagine if I was living in Nigeria and doing the same thing as I'm doing while still working. You know how many people I trained last year in the IT space that I am? I teach 9 classes. Imagine if I was living in Nigeria and training those same people into the system. The crime rate will reduce. People will have food to eat. Jobs will come remotely. That money will be paid into the system. But you see, the best of us are being taken out. The other young man that is in UK that was here before that he faced return, you know, he has left. A lot of you here, you are outside of the country.
I left also.
Are taken out. What is left for us? So think about.
I had a conversation. Sorry to interrupt you, Wilfred. I had a conversation with on Arise TV. I said until we start glamorizing education, until we start bringing glamour to farming,
dollar will not.
Nigeria does not understand. You see, my only problem with the government, as far as I'm concerned, is that they are old people. And that's why I wanted someone like Showore. Forget Peter Obi. He's as old as them. You will think like them. Forget it. No. Maybe you'll be a little bit different from them. You see, the question is what the government needs to improve on, in my humble opinion, is 1, security. 2, mindset. That's why I say religion is so dangerous. All Nigeria needs to do is first class from every university. That one that they are dashing Senator Jeep, they should give it to the
first class.
Top graduating students of every university should have that 100 million Naira Jeep and house.
Sure, they will not buy that first class result.
There is no
corruption.
You cannot buy the highest result in the school. You can buy it. Because for you to buy the highest,
because you have to defend it.
You have to compromise every lecturer.
But we can't fix security if people don't have food to eat. If they don't have jobs.
It's a chain of events.
I was telling somebody yesterday here, I said, you know why you can get up from at night and go to work in the US at 11 or come back to work at 1 a.m.
Because the
government pays the Agberos by supplying them food.
Food stamp.
Free food.
Food stamp.
Food stamp.
Section 8 homes.
On 8 homes. They give it to their girlfriends and their baby mamas. They will go and sleep there.
And they allow them some vices.
Access for us to have that safety. So there is a
medical
indirectly in the system, because if we don't go and work, the money and the circulation will not flow.
They will not chop, Steph. They will not chop. The rich is the one taking care of them.
Yeah. So you find out that in Nigeria, there is no job. And
nothing.
Those jobs would have existed if farming was existing.
If education system.
You guys know what they call Californium. I'm not sure that the freeze have heard about that.
It's a material.
Good.
Mineral
element. $27 billion. Have you heard how it's been accounted for? No. Imagine if we were accounting for that alone. I don't want to go into the details of that particular mineral because head are rolling. I have one chairman. I am a mentor to his kids in this country. He has field mines in Nasarawa, in Gombe. The guy in Acha, you know those people get old money for Nigeria. His destiny is a pastor, but he's a businessman. He's not one of those pastors that come and ask you for title. No. He just loves God, but he's a businessman. That guy cannot mine his field in those two states. Massive field. And in that same location, he told me, say, my son, they are bringing helicopter to take it out. I can't afford to do that. So you find out that there is a playbook in the system. If I mention some companies that we all glad to be using in our countries as of today, what they are there to do is literally taking out our natural minerals,
extracts,
natural resources. But we are excited that they are giving us one small jobs offer. A lot of them are running out because this exchange rate is hitting them.
Yes.
So again, government knows what to do, but because of the playbook that is in
they never do it.
They cannot do it because it will be a breach of contract. Head go.
That's why before election you hear them, I will do this, I will do that. When they get in, it becomes the problem turns.
What can be done, like that question that the freeze is doing? Whoever wants to be our president, that is why when Daddy Freeze says Showore would have been a better choice. You know why? He's neutral in the sense that he hasn't been in any government before.
Thank you.
He hasn't taken a seat before. I'm sorry to say it. I love Peter Obi, but Peter Obi too has taken a seat before. If with Peter Obi, I will challenge him and say, Daddy, me, you served in a state called Anambra for 8 years.
You served under Abacha as head of sports.
So, if you guys know Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs, the basic one, which is psychological, rest, food to eat, basic infrastructure, basic thing. Let him mention one thing that if you go to Anambra after 8 years, you see that thing. Let's say water run for every houses. No. Good network. Does it run in every home? No. Because these are things they will caution you not to do. Because if they do it, if you have water, you have light, you have health, I will not live Akwa Ibom. This auntie me no go live Yoruba land. And you no go leave your state. No be like now they do business for outside this country. Now lights now. But as long as those things are there, first class will not leave Nigeria. Things will work.
Basic lifestyle for.
So even Obi did not make it available. Okay, he was whining and dining with Atiku before he pulled out. What was he doing there before? What was he thinking before? I like him, don't get me wrong. But if you really ask me, Showore, who has not been a senator, who has not been a president, who has not been anything,
who does not owe any of these people anything.
He doesn't owe them any explanation. The only thing is that he's had my role when if he wants to do the things he's been saying. Because he will be coming to tread on the tail of a python. Yes. So you find out that for you to correct this anomaly, the leader that has to come and lead us must be ready to buy. Because when you try to change that playbook, you see that playbook? That playbook allows that system to lose their the very best is being pulled out, and the economy is breaking down every day. But if the thing is working, the best of us will not leave. They will be there. we will work on the system and the system will grow. Then we will also have export. What are we exporting?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Do you know that Nigeria is so big that you see this bitter cola, I eat it every day. If it's only this bitter cola that Nigeria could supply and the supply chain is so good, this bitter cola solve a lot of problems.
Palm oil.
But no, the supply chain for this thing is so terrible. You know how much we buy it here in the US? About 3 for $1. Do you understand? So government knows what to do. Nobody ready to buy. And guess what? There is a structure and there is a playbook in the system. I'm not sure that the frees know this.
So are you saying there's no hope?
It's difficult.
Okay, so here is what is going to happen. I'm not a prophet, but this is what is going to happen. Right now, maybe they went to catch 2 monarchs in Ekiti, right? Bayam, right? In Ogun State, the senator was just released recently, right? When that dollar hit 2,000 to 1, even the lawmakers, they won't be able to walk on the streets.
Yeah.
They are pushing the Nigerian youth to a point. This one is not like, it's just the way it is. You are pushing them to a point whereby they will be on a tight spot like this. Then the worst will happen.
System breaks.
You know how BDM will say, and they will learn.
I doubt it.
They will learn the hard way.
My brother, I doubt it for Nigerian youth. Nigerian youth adapt to things easily.
See.
They will adapt.
No. Maybe you will adapt when you have food to eat.
No, they won't adapt because it's really getting difficult.
Rounding off, because we've been at this for a while, that lady took off a lot of our time and will be better structured next week when we're having this conversation. 1 minute each. What are your takes in response to what Wilfred has suggested, starting with the gentleman?
Okay, with what he has suggested, I would advise, just like Daddy Fritz said earlier, we need to start in bits, and we start with the things that will not destroy them first. So we start with us, the people, mindset. Yeah, mindset and every education, all those things that keeps the economy. Because if you look at what keeps this thing stable, the economic stable, we have the political stability, we have all the other things, macroeconomics and everything. But we start from the little bits of it. And if we start from there, we can now, once you change the mindset of the people, the system, everything starts changing. But, it's going to take long. It's really going to take long. That's
Sorry, somebody sent a contribution in from Facebook with 1,000 stars. I did say I'll read your contributions if you send them with 1,000 stars. This is from Zolt Gates. Daddy Freeze, the floating of the Naira started that free fall of the Naira. You brought me up earlier and we couldn't finish. Thanks for this opportunity. I have 2 jobs for newbies into IT hospitality. I can talk about it for someone who may be willing or who may need it. 1.5 million per month and 3 million per month. Hope it would help someone out there. Thank you so much for your love, Zold Gates. I appreciate that. Awesome stuff. Please continue what you were saying.
Yeah. So we need to start from the bits, and we start from economics, the people, mindsets, those little things that can be changed, because the government is not going to do it for us. We have to do it ourselves. That's just it. We have to start ourselves. That's all.
Sister, what is your take?
My take is, I'm going to say the government should start celebrating education more than parties. They should start putting money more in education, because if you're building a house and you don't have foundation, definitely the house is not going anywhere. So education would help everyone to change their mindsets, especially the young ones, which are the future of tomorrow in Nigeria. So my take is just, one of the things is we should start celebrating education, start celebrating people that are willing to study, and which will motivate other people to go back to school and believe in education, that education is not a scam. We are all talking about technology. We are talking about security. We are talking about businesses. We are talking about farming. If we look at it, education is the major foundation of all these things. We cannot train people with cybersecurity if they don't know the basics when it comes to ABC. We cannot tell people about the minerals in the soil when there is no education. We cannot tell people about technology when there is no education. So my major take is education. We should start celebrating people that are willing to go back to school or that are in school and are doing well. Like what you said, all first-class students, they should provide them huge money, and all this thing will motivate others to go back to school. And I believe that is going to work. That's a baby step.
Farmers should be motivated.
Yes, farmers should also be motivated.
Anyway, so parting notes, 1 minute each. What the summary of your belief system? What do you think? Starting with Wilfred Asuko.
Okay, so pending when the government would wake up, which I doubt they will not, because none of them is ready to die and ready to leave that position.
Fine.
Make a step for yourself. You see where you are? Everybody, they shout tech. You take tech, they play. Find whatever you will do that will earn you dollars, even while you are in Nigeria. That's all you need first. Because if you are not earning in that hard currency, the struggle go hard. So when you see that the freeze will come and talk to you and tell you that he doesn't want to live where he is, trust me, he's providing global services. I can't do without that. So my business strives on with this mind. If I show up, I'm good. And he's in Nigeria. Okay. So find something that you will do. Because if you wait for Nigeria government, they don't send you. And I will tell you for a fact, Nigeria don't get money. They don't over collect money. So their debt ratio is so high. So any small revenue that they make, they are servicing that debt that they are servicing. So when they service small, they will go back and take another loan. So it keeps putting them in that. So if you are waiting for them, it's not going to happen. So find something that you will do. Tech is the best way to make money from the comfort of your home. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arrest.
Okay.
All right. My dear brother, as we're officially rounding off now.
I'm waiting. Okay. Can I say, okay, in my opinion, I think those in the academic sector, from the younger age to the older one, they should start having a good mindset. And having this mindset, it's not about your degree. It's about what skills you have and what you can give in exchange for money as services that they should start working on. So while you're working on your degree, I know it's not easy in Nigeria, but you need to hone your skills in something that is going to earn you. Whatever it is you know. IT, I know IT, I don't know about any other thing, but there are other things out there. Try to do that, because nobody's coming for you, trust me. The government is not going to help you. The government will do what they want to do, when they want to do it, and how they want to do it. So you need to focus on what opportunities are out there and how can I fit in, how can I tap into it, and those things you start working on. That's how I've been doing my things all along. Trust me. So that's all.
All right. And finally, my dear sister, what is your take?
My take is to let every individual know that your life it's your life, and what you want to be is what you define for yourself. Start looking out of the box. Do not depend on the government. Do not wait for them. We already know them. They are not ready to help. Change your mindset. Look around your community, what you can do, what you can start learning. There is YouTube, there is Google. Things are easy now. You can learn Excel. You can start from Excel. You can learn some technological tools, some soft tools. Start learning, and when you become an expert of it, you can start your own classes also and start teaching secondary school students. Internet is like the blood money now for anybody that is ready to think deep. If you can learn one skill set, even if it's as simple as Excel, and you become perfect and an expert into that, You can start taking classes and start teaching secondary school students and start charging them money, little money, because I believe very soon other countries will start bringing jobs to Nigeria, just like Indians. I will state this as an example. In US here, I work as a software developer, and a company would rather go hire somebody in India that they will pay 80,000 annually to that Indian guy than paying me 120 or 130 annually. And I believe very soon it's going to happen to Nigeria also. So why doing that? Would stop. Let's start waiting for government. Start developing your skills. If you want to farm, encourage yourself. If you want to learn any other skills, let's leave makeup artists. There are a lot of makeup artists, a lot of gay person. Let's start thinking outside the box. You can't be doing what everyone is doing. Nobody's going to call you from overseas to come and make up if you don't have a visa. But look for what you can do that.
Now only you understand where you go paint your face.
Yeah.
Like say you want paint
start
house.
thinking outside the box. Start learning other skill set that you know that somebody from across other country can benefit from, and they can hire you.
Thank you very much. That's as far as we can go, guys. Thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you, Daddy.
Thank you,
Love you all. Do take care and stay blessed.